Yes, we are live. Thank you very much, Moesiera, Owies, for taking time out today. I really appreciate it, and sorry for being late. Today
Yes,
we are broadcasting live from Solom's Delta, and it's so nice to spend time with you on this Heritage Day. Happy Heritage Day to you and your family.
thank you very much, Rami. Same to you. I hope
All
you're
right.
having a wonderful
Yes, up to now we did have a wonderful time with me and the family. We're out here on Solom's Delta, and we are having a fun day today. I hope you also have a fun-filled day today on this Heritage Day. What do you plan for today?
Well, we're gonna have a braai. I think that is
Oh.
that is the typical South African thing to do. So
Yes, yes,
yeah,
and yeah,
I
thank you
just
very
spend
much.
time with family. Yeah.
All right, yes, yes. I'm quickly going to introduce myself. My name is James January, and I am from a company called Bluepeers Praxis. We develop small enterprises, and our focus areas are mainly on mentoring and coaching of SMME directors. So, in line with what we are doing, we have invited a poet and artist, Moesiera Owies, today, just to give us the lowdowns and and the high ups of being an artist and also of writing. Thank you very much. With no further ado, our guest artist and poet, um, Moesiera Owies. I think you don't need any introduction in the West Coast. People know you by now. Uh, Moesiera,
Mm-hmm.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rami. Thank you for having me on your platform.
All
I
right,
really do appreciate it.
that's very nice. How do you feel to be invited on this platform? How do you feel today? Are you feeling
Oh,
excited? And
I am excited. It's something. Yeah, it's exciting to and it's an honor also to be invited onto your platform to just speak about where I come from and where I am heading in my career.
okay,
Um, I was a bit nervous when I first
okay.
got when you first made contact. I was like, "Wants to interview me?" But yeah, it's it's good to be excited. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, the first time when I saw you, it was on Vescas Vinky,
Yeah.
where I saw you performing your one of your poems,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm also a poem writer, and it got me all excited, and I was so excited. I was saying, "Hey, this lady, I must have an interview with her." So when you said yes, I was over the moon. So
So
thank you very yes, thank you very much. It's also an honor and it's a blessing for me to have you here today. So Moesera, um, tell the viewers more about yourself, where you're from, your studies, your family, your siblings, your mother and father, where they from. If you can just give us a little bit background on that one.
background. Okay. So my name is Moesiera Owies. I am born and raised on the West Coast. My family is West Coasters, Vredenburg. Um,
Yes,
yeah, I have two siblings, both
yes.
younger. I've got a sister, middle sister. She's a teacher. She's currently working in the UAE. And then my
Okay.
brother is the youngest.
Hmm.
He is, he's following in my father's footsteps. My father's a fisherman. He's a skipper. So
Okay.
yeah, alles in daai bedryf. My
Okay.
mom is my mom
Yes.
is my rock. She is,
Okay.
yeah, I think the one that kind of got me going on this path, maybe unconsciously, but still, yeah.
Yes. All right.
And
Wonderful.
yeah, we
Okay.
have a dog and a cat. And oh, my niece, my niece.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Our
The
dog
dog is
keeps me,
yeah.
yeah, dog
Okay,
and
what do
cat.
you
Um,
okay.
I've got a 3-year-old niece, and she's the wind in everyone's sails. So yeah,
Oh,
she's
okay.
wonderful.
All right, that's nice. Nice to hear that. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your mom uh, for raising such a beautiful lady and for
Thank
taking
you.
care of you guys. Okay, that's wonderful to know. Okay, right. A little bit of your studies. Where did you study? Where did you go to school, and what did you do after school?
Well, that's a bit of a journey there. So I went to primary school, Panorama Premier,
Okay.
high school,
Yes.
Western Secondary School.
Yes.
Um, After that, I immediately went to Stellenbosch to go and study. At that point, sorry,
Okay.
at that
All
time,
right.
I still
Okay.
um,
That's
of the conviction that I was gonna become a medical doctor. So,
okay.
so
All
yeah,
right.
that I didn't finish my studies. I did 1 year at Stellenbosch. After
Okay.
that, I moved to Joburg, started working, was there
Yes.
for 10 years, and in that time period is where I really kind of I've always known what I wanted to do, but that's where
Okay.
I really started kind of discovering and working on becoming
All
an
right.
artist. So
Okay.
I was working full time in Joburg. I
Okay.
did so my studies basically, so most of what I do in line with my career now was
Okay.
um, was courses like I did presenting training at the SABC. I did drama and um, yeah, drama workshops throughout my
Okay.
career, starting in Joburg. And so I've worked with wonderful veterans in the industry, and I
Okay.
learned a lot early on in my career. And eventually, I moved back to the West Coast, where I really
Okay.
believe I'm meant to be, because this is where I started kind of getting into the into my journey as a poet also.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful. Wonderful to know. It's quite a journey, eh?
Yeah.
And also taking a chance going to Joburg. It's one thing I can just imagine your mother. How she felt at that stage. Oh my God, we need Joburg to
Yeah.
gaan, that type of thing. So it's a journey, yes, but a chance well taken. Thank you very much for that information. Okay. You said you do have a sister, eldest one in the UAE, and then you have a smaller sister
Middle
and
sister.
oh, the middle
Middle
sister.
sister. And yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've got a sister and a brother. So I'm the eldest.
Oh, you're the eldest. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Hey, sorry for making that mistake. Eh? It's easy to make that kind of
Right.
mistake. Yes. Do you come from a literary background? Uh, today it's Heritage Day, and obviously we also want to celebrate literacy in South Africa. And there is a quite a rich history in South Africa. So, do you, in your family, come from a literary background?
Jimmy, not really. I wouldn't say literary background, but I come from a background of readers.
Okay,
We grew up, you know, learning from my mother to read. She still is an avid reader. So it's just, you see someone doing something and you just kind of learn from that. And
okay,
so me, my sister, my brother, not so much, but
yeah,
we are readers, and so you kind of learn to love language and learn
okay,
to love words
okay,
and
yes,
expression through imagination. And
okay,
so reading has played a very big role on my
okay,
on my life in my life.
okay,
And
yeah, okay,
um, so yeah, that I think that's where I first discovered my love for expression and and
Yeah.
words and
Okay.
just using my imagination. And also, I have, I think, my mother was she's a very animated person. So in our family, we always use different ways of expression, and
Okay.
it was it's just always fun to be expressive and have
Yes.
fun
Yes.
with words. And
Mm-mm.
she's baie oor Afrikaans en die proper pronunciations and
Yes.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so she taught us a lot about that.
All right. Okay, that's wonderful to know. Uh, so your mother had a huge influence on you, both you and your sister who went into teaching, and now we can see the big roles he played. Eh?
Yeah,
Ons is mos maar van 'n Afrikaanse gemeenskap. I'm also from Vredenburg,
yeah.
and you know the language spoken there is mainly Afrikaans. So you know the transition. I can just imagine your journey going to Joburg, and also even going to Stellenbosch. Uh, that is quite, you know,
It was
it's
a
quite.
huge culture shock,
Yes,
definitely.
I can. Yes, yes, I can just imagine. Although Stellenbosch is mainly Afrikaans environment, it changed over the years, and it's now currently transforming to be English. So that
Mm.
is it's wonderful. Wonderful to know that information about yourself. So
Mm.
as insight, okay, you wanted to say something? I almost stopped
Now, I
you
just
there.
wanted to say that, in Stellenbosch, I learned because coming from the West Coast, you know only this, you know only West Coast.
Yes.
So in Stellenbosch, I basically learned to interact with different people from different, yeah, Afrikaans, but different types of Afrikaans, different ways of
Okay.
speaking,
Speaking.
expressing,
Yeah. Yes.
and also English speaking people. And then in Joburg, and that's why I think it's so important for our youth to go out and experience
Yes.
different areas in South Africa, go
Yeah.
out and study somewhere else or go and live somewhere for a while. You can always come back home, but it's
Yes.
it's good to experience different cultures, different ways of living. Because when
Yeah.
I first got to Joburg, it was like I felt like a foreigner in my own country because I was like,
Okay.
I don't understand
Oh.
the way of speaking. And yes, you
Yes.
learn, but it was really interesting. So I think
Okay.
that's something that our youth really should do is just go out and experience different areas and different
Yes.
ways of
Yes.
living.
Yeah. I think some mummies will just get a heart attack if their daughter say, "No, mommy, I'm going to leave now, and I'm leaving you behind." So,
Yeah. It's a scary thing.
especially when, yeah, it's especially from the West Coast, and I know that some certain mummies won't allow that, you know,
Mm,
but I take my hat off to your mother for allowing you to do take their chances in life. So thank you very much for that information, Moesiera. So
mhm.
as inside of your literary heritage, right? Tell
Mhm.
us which writers did you enjoy reading about as a child?
As a child, oh,
Oh, you had your mother's influence, you had your family, you guys were
mm,
coming from a reading background, but certainly there must be this influence of other writers on you.
mm. No, I read everything as a child.
Okay,
I enjoyed reading different authors and different types of books. I grew
okay,
up mainly on as a child I read my favorite at the time was Sweet Valley High.
okay,
And I know it sounds I know it sounds really like basic and simple, but
yeah,
I think that that's what kind of made me, that's what
okay,
I'm made of. So
yes,
and I remember there's this one book that I think I was about 8 or 9 when I first read it, and I kept
yes,
reading that book. It was, and I cannot remember the title of the book. I just remember the
Yeah.
artwork, and it was the
Yes.
most beautiful artwork. It was like a kiddies book about a
Yeah.
boy wanting to play a piano, and I just remember it was
Okay.
like black and white, and with this boy
Yeah.
with a red t-shirt or jersey on,
Oh, yes.
and
Yeah.
so I am I'm not someone that really attaches myself to names or authors or whatever. I
Yeah.
take
Okay.
in I I like to take in varied things.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I grew up with. And what I must say is one of the most influential people I think at that point was because I started writing poetry early, and I started
Uh,
loving poetry early on. And I remember, and this was actually through my education at school, we did the poem Ek is ook important by
okay.
Peter Snyders. And
Okay.
that for me
Yes.
has always stood out because that's when I realized that you can do poetry that way, in that
Okay.
language, that
Yes. Yes.
express yourself in that way. And that
Mm.
was eye-opening for me. So
Right.
that is what kind of, yeah, that's my history of
Okay.
reading. And
All right. Okay. Wonderful. That's so nice to hear that. So as a reader, you've read everything. Franny, Son of Doti, Sunday Times, everything.
yeah,
You
so
know, all
small
the
phone, Moesieras.
these kind of stories and everything.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Um, yes, so it's nice to hear that as a child, which books you like to read, and also about the poems that you also which influenced you. Okay, as a poet, right? How did you
Mhm.
get started as a poet and as an artist? What made you to start? You gave us insight of the SABC and the training you got there and stuff. But how did you started off?
Started.
Yeah.
As I said, I started writing very early on.
Okay.
Um, I've always been writing. I never saw myself as a poet though.
Yeah.
I just like to write poetry, and I remember I went through a stage where, not the stage, it was just how I was at the time.
Yes.
I wouldn't let anyone read my
Yeah.
poems.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
there's one poem that wrote very early on that I still have I posted it up on my wall, like the Facebook wall that we have now, my
Hmm.
actual wall. And
Okay.
that was the one thing that I actually thought, okay, this is good
Mm.
enough. But after that, throughout my early stage of writing, I never allowed people to read my poetry because I didn't see it as that. It was just me expressing. And I think, yeah, as I said, I always wanted to be an artist. My love for the
Okay.
art started with dancing. So I
All
wanted
right.
to be a
Oh.
dancer. I wanted to be a
Okay.
world and Latin professional dancer.
Okay.
And
Yes.
um, I was very blessed to start off early at Western. Juffrou Kloete het nog 'n
Uh,
ballroom klas
okay.
begin daar by ons.
Okay.
And so that's when I started dancing. And I think that set off the
Mm-hmm.
whole motion because when I went to Stellenbosch, and as I said, I always knew what I wanted to do, but I was heading in a different direction. And even in when I was in Stellenbosch, my the thing that gave me the most joy was going to ballroom classes and
Oh,
going to
okay.
dance, performing for my friends and stuff. And
Okay.
so it just kind of continued throughout. And even when I started working, I was writing.
Okay.
And one day, no, not one day. So as well, I was working, and I just it's something that's in you that you just can't um you cannot damp me. So it
Okay.
get
Yes. Yeah.
I was working, but I did my ballroom. I started going for drama lessons. I
Yes.
realized I was going to be a dancer, but then my love for acting actually grew. And so that's where I headed. I started going for my presenting. When I went for the presenter training, I think
Hmm.
that's where the penny kind of dropped because that's where I met my first agent, my first acting agent. And
Okay.
so that's where the thing kind of transitioned for me and I
Okay.
became an artist.
All right.
And
Okay.
it took a long while. It was a
Yeah.
long journey up until there, but I thank
Yeah.
God so much because I feel like the timing was just perfect. The timing was perfect because when you have a desire for something in your heart, if you
Okay. Yes.
because we're all born with a purpose, we all have something to do,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
often most of the time that is the thing that you most desire to do. And
Yes.
sometimes you find yourself, and I found myself in a career that
Mm.
was not fulfilling me in what I wanted to do. So
Yes.
I guess I I used to blame my career for keeping me away from what I wanted to do. But
Hmm.
what helped me is that I found time to do what I loved
Okay.
even as I was working, and then I could
Okay.
finally kind of go over and say, okay, I'm gonna try this full time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put everything in because I don't want to wake up in 20, 30 years and say I should have tried that. I should have
Hmm.
at least given it a go. And
Hmm.
so when once I started doing that, that's when things kind of came
Okay.
into you
All
know
right. Yes, that's wonderful. Yes. So you saying you panorama, primary school, high school, Western. You went to Stellenbosch to study medicine. You wanted to become a medical doctor,
I
and
did
then finally, eh?
yeah, biology, BSc biology.
Yeah. Oh, okay, wonderful. And then you went to Joburg, and then you came back, and then you enter into becoming a into writing poetry. Okay. Do you find writing very easy? People who want to start writing, they don't know where to start, what to do. Do you find it very easy to write poems? And
Um, Jimmy, I think it depends on your frame of mind. I usually like when I write poetry, I
hmm.
find it easy because I cannot when I write poetry is my expression, it's my way of expressing. So I
uh,
can't write what I'm not full of at the time. So when I'm
okay,
overwhelmed with something or I'm feeling something's constant on my mind, then
okay,
constant on my mind, that's when I would go and write a poem
okay,
or write whatever. But when you are like anything else, like I've written a few short stories and stuff also, and
yeah,
um, that it's the concept, the ideas, the formulation of the stories comes easy. Yes, the writing not
okay,
so much,
okay,
because I was actually having a conversation with another friend, a lady, um a few days ago, and she's also a writer, and we were talking about how as a writer you need your space, you need quiet time, you need to be in the right
okay,
frame of mind. It's not
okay.
something we just go and sit and there you go.
Oh, okay.
You know
Yes,
what I mean? So
yes.
it's easy enough to get the inspiration and the ideas around it, but I do struggle sometimes with putting it into on paper
It,
because I
but
feel
yeah,
I can't on a
mm,
laptop or whatever. I prefer
yeah,
writing with
yeah.
paper. It just
Okay.
feels more natural and I get more
So,
up.
yes,
But
yeah,
yeah, so to a certain extent, it is easy,
yeah.
um, depending on what I'm writing,
Okay. All
if you know
right.
what I mean.
Yes, no, no, that's wonderful. And I can concur that, all writers, I think most of them just want to write on a piece of paper. They don't want to type. They want to scratch out words and then they want to rewrite it. Yeah, because they want to get that feeling, that feel
Yeah,
of it. Yeah. So I know
right.
exactly. Yes, and the inspiration, yes, the inspiration, like you said, is when something happens like the gender-based violence, then now this thing is constantly in the news. It's all over. Everybody's talking about it, and then all of a
Mm,
sudden, this idea is just coming, and then it creeps up, and then you sit down, like you say, and then you just start. It starts with one word or one line, and then
yes,
it just grow from there. Okay, that's
yes.
wonderful. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Hey, Moesieras. I want to know, as you're writing, right? Do you do much research, or does research play a big role in what you are
Mm.
writing?
Um, Generally, I write from experience
Hmm.
or like, yeah, the things that most of what I write is about what I've experienced or what I've seen, what
Okay.
I like to take stuff in.
Okay.
So, so when I write, it comes from what I've taken in. But definitely, I
Okay.
do, if I have a project that's
Hmm.
specific to certain thing, I do, I do research
Research. Okay.
when
Okay.
need be. Yeah, yeah. I'm
All
not
right.
big on
So,
research, honestly, but I do it when it's needed,
okay. All right.
when
But
it's
but but
outside my framework or whatever.
yes. Okay. So research is, yeah, only when you want clarity, then you will go and then just look up certain stuff in order for
Especially
you just to clarify.
historical stuff, if you're gonna write
Okay.
something that speaks of what something that's happened in the past year, I make sure to research my facts about
Okay.
whatever.
All right. Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much on that one. Now, you already spoken about it, right? But will you indulge us with your professional career? Just tell us about a little bit about your professional career. You said you're an artist. You've got a someone who's taking care of you. So tell us about that. Okay, what
Mm.
do you have in place? Yes.
Okay, so as I said earlier, I started doing part-time um dance class. I used to dance part-time,
Okay.
do my drama
Yes.
classes part-time. I started also teaching ballroom and Latin
Okay.
part-time in about, I think that was 2013. That's also when I met my first agent
Oh yes.
and
Okay.
started professionally in as an actress.
Okay.
So that was in Johannesburg. I did a few projects there.
Mm-hmm.
I Most of the projects actually I did earlier on were dance projects, like the
Oh,
TV
okay.
ad that I done.
Uh,
I did a, what do you call it? Is it a reality? Not a yeah.
it's a,
It's like
a reality
a
show.
reality show. So
Okay.
I did
Yes.
a bit of a feature on there, also as a dancer.
Okay.
And after that, I did um sure. Let me think.
So there's a lot of things
Yeah.
that you
So
have done, eh? Yeah, no, but it's fine. Um, so you were talking about you had this person who you sign on.
mhm.
It's, yeah, it's like a marketer. Did this person take you, your agent? Yes. So he acts like a marketer. He take your profile, then he goes to certain industries, then he say, okay, here's the profile. If you need someone, does it work like that, or and does it still work like that? Do you still have that type of person in your professional life?
Okay. So yeah. That my agent that I had in Joburg, Kimberly Stock. So
Yeah.
she basically, and mind you, I didn't have much of a profile to use at that point.
Oh,
I
okay. Yes, yes.
have much to go on, but the the fact that I had done the training at the SABC, and I had I was working with her constantly because she also basically workshopped with us. So she gave us drama training as well.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so what she did, or what she yeah, she basically promotes her artist on on her website,
Okay.
and she was the artist then. And then I moved to when I moved back home, I
Mm.
was I was kind of freelancing in the beginning a lot, so I didn't have an
Okay.
agent yet. And so a lot of the work that I did then, like short films and stuff, I did
Mm.
on my own, but it was just to kind of build my resume maybe up a bit. And then I was blessed enough, like I said, God knows what He's doing. He knows His timing. I My new agent is Samantha Bernardi, and she's like one of the best in Cape Town.
Okay.
And
Oh, yes.
she is really good to work with, and I'm very lucky to be on her artist list. So yeah, that's what I do. I
Mm.
work through my agent.
Okay.
I do my writing on the side, and that's my career. I've done a few short films. I have
Yeah.
done a few ads. I've done features on shows and stuff, but mostly
Uh,
auditions and stuff, and still working on my craft.
okay. Yeah. Okay. So you are work in progress, eh?
Yes.
So, yes. Yes. All right. Thank you very much for that. Uh, any poets that you like currently that's still alive that you follow
Yes.
locally, internationally? Is there any poet which you love?
Um, I have recently discovered he's not just a poet but a writer. Ricardo Arendse. Like
Okay.
I think he's such he's a wonderful writer. I just love reading his work.
Okay.
So one of my favorites at the moment.
All right.
So check him out. He's locally the movie Losing Lerato.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's his work, and it's just
Okay.
I think he's a wonderful writer.
All
Yeah.
right.
And then
Okay.
I am a big Maya Angelou fan. She's not with us anymore, but she's at least she was alive in my lifetime. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
those
Yes.
are the
Yeah.
people that
That's
I
a
think.
yeah. That's a wonderful poet, eh?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yes. Can you give any advice to someone out there wanting to write and publish poetry? I know you did not publish as yet,
Mm.
but can you give a little bit advice and insight on someone wanting to write or publish a book or whatever? Is it difficult to do that?
I think the best advice I could give is probably value your work.
Okay.
Value what you create, because often as artists, and I know this because I do this, you you doubt the
Okay.
value that your work will have, or
All
the
right.
the the, the impact that it will have.
Yes.
And I learned something early on that from my agent, and it's basically to create your art, to do what you do
Uh,
because you love
yes.
doing it, and just put it out there, give a piece of yourself. And
Okay.
how the world receives it, how it comes back,
Yeah.
that's that's up to it. But
Okay.
do not compromise your work. That would be one of
Okay.
my first pieces of advice. And then also, I think it's important to do research, because I do want to publish um,
Hmm. Yeah.
eventually, but it's important to do research and build yourself, build your brand kind of as a poet. And I think that's the stage that I'm in now,
Okay.
make contact. And that's why it's such a blessing for me to be on here, because I feel like I'm making contact with the right people, and that's what you
Okay.
need to do. And also
All
just
right.
make sure to research where your poetry, where your work fits into.
Mm-hmm.
Approach the right platforms, work with the
Okay.
right people,
Yes.
because that's what's gonna either build your profile or not. Is so
Okay.
just be conscious of you where you work and how you publish,
Okay.
and don't like I think this is very important. Like, don't cheapen your work. Don't there's some things that you can put out on social media, and
Yeah.
because you want it to impact people and to move people and to change people's lives. But then
Yeah.
there's also your work, and then there's also work that that this is to build your career with. So
Yeah.
there's things that you just can't give out for free, if you know what I mean. You
Yes.
just can't
Okay.
just
Yes.
give out there, just put it out there
Yeah.
for the sake of it.
Of just putting it out. Uh,
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's really really wonderful tip. Because sometimes people don't know when to distinguish between publishing something on social media, and then you don't even have afterwards you don't even have any rights on it.
Mm.
That is very important. Thank you very much for that information. You say you work, and maybe can you just give us a little bit of a typical work day? How's a typical work day for you? Yeah.
Jeremy, um, I think the thing with artists is that very often our work life and our personal life get kind of intertwined,
Oh yes.
and because there's no 9 to 5 structure, you know what I mean?
Okay. Mm.
So I think my typical day, I have a little niece that I look after, or that
Okay.
I
Yes.
help look after. So she makes out a big part of it. But definitely
Okay.
as an artist, I make sure to, in a typical day, I do my, because I'm not just a writer, I'm an actress also. So I have
Okay.
to
Yes.
make sure that I do vocal warm-ups, that I
Okay.
take care of my instrument, which is my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
um,
Yes.
I do my vocal warm-ups. I make sure that I read
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
I write as much as I
Yes.
possibly can whenever
Yeah.
I can make the time.
Okay.
But as I said, for me at this moment, I often say, yo, I wish I had a studio that I could go to and just
Okay.
spend my nine to
Yes.
five there. But you learn to work whatever you do into your daily life. And I
Okay.
also feel like to a certain extent that's okay, because that is what it is to be an artist. You're not always gonna have time to to focus on everything that you want to do, but there are periods, like I'm going through a period now where I have a lot of work to do, a lot of um tapes to record and stuff to do. so
Yeah. Okay.
you have to you have to kind of be focused on what you have to do in the minute, in the moment.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it's moment to moment thing for me. But yeah, typical day, I make sure to do um, warm ups, exercise. For an actress, it's very important to stay fit as well.
Okay.
And
Yes.
yeah, make sure that I stay
Yeah. Okay.
motivated.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, as an artist, I can just imagine because being an artist, you need to motivate yourself. Yeah, you do get people to motivate you, but you as an artist need to believe in yourself in
Yes.
order for you to be out there and also to get a job, right? So
Mm.
I can just imagine. I'm not an artist, but I can just imagine that the kind of marketing that you have to put in and the kind of you know exercises which you need to do, because you constantly need to train yourself in this industry, because you need to be on top of your game at all times. So thank you very much for that information. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. I don't think it's too bad. It's going well. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. If someone out there might wonder if it is it worth it to be an artist? Come, let's be honest. Is it worth it to be an artist, to write poetry, and does it pay? Does it pay the bills?
I think that's something that we're struggling with a lot these days in our
Mhm.
industry. Not these days, for a good while already. The paying the bills part.
Okay. Yes.
It's it's a tough one because I think there's so much negativity around that
Mhm.
aspect of the arts industry because
Okay.
if you're gonna look at it just from that angle, it's
Yeah.
gonna be easy to say, no, it doesn't pay the bills really.
Okay.
It's
Yes. Yeah.
but I believe that if that is who you were called to be, if that is what you are meant to do, then of
Hmm.
course it's worth
Oh, yes.
it. There's no other way for me to to put it. We were we were all created to do something,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying be like me and leave your 9 to 5 and just
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Obviously everyone has this different journey, and everyone
Mm.
has a different timing, and everyone's
Mhm.
lives are differently
Yes.
structured. So,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
but I believe being an artist is definitely worth it if that
Okay.
is what you are called to do. So
All
find
right.
out. It's a very personal thing. Find
Hmm.
out what your purpose is. Find out what you believe that you were meant to do, and
All right.
whatever you're meant to do, whether the industry says it doesn't have money or whatever, you will make what you need to make if that's
All
what
right.
you mean. That's
Yes.
my. I know it sounds a bit up in the air,
Yeah.
and the way I am.
Yeah. No, that's
That's
fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's wonderful.
that.
It's
Yeah,
like any other job. It's just that you need to work at your craft, what you are saying,
you have to
and you
work
need to
at.
put yourself. Yeah. So it's hard work, but at the end of the day, if it's fulfilling, it gives you that pleasure, then
Yes.
that pleasure is already paying. Taking takes care of your health and everything, because you are doing something which you like. All right.
Because
Okay. All right.
I also just have to say and the reason why I say that is because I've been on the other side. I've done the working thing,
Mm.
the the
The 8 to 5
can I
work.
say the
Yeah.
monetary thing,
Yeah.
focused thing,
Oh
you
yes.
know?
Okay. Sorry.
And
Yes.
so for me, it's just that simple because I've been there and it was not worth it because I liked my job.
Hmm.
It was a good job. It was a good
Okay.
career for me, but I was not fulfilled.
Oh yes. Okay.
So yeah, if you're gonna look at it in that terms, you have to weigh
Yeah.
what means the most to you and what you actually want out of life.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's a very personal thing.
Yes. You want to do something which is going to make you happy at the end of the day. You don't want to be brought up into a 9 to 5 job, and then you're unhappy for the rest of your life until you are going pension. Then you say,
Exactly.
"Whoa, good riddance." So you want to do something that's really going to give you that edge, that pleasure. You know. Uh,
And
so
I also have that,
yeah.
for like the young people coming up now, um, a younger generation that I believe that the industry is definitely more of an option for them. Being an
Okay.
artist is a bigger option than it was when I was growing up, you know. It is
Yeah.
something that you can actually make a career of.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can
All right.
actually, if that is what you know you want to do, then
Mm-hmm.
pursue it, I would say, because um you're gonna if it fulfills you, and it's not like, you know, it's just it's different from a 9 to 5 in terms of
Yeah.
salary and income and all of
Yeah.
that. It's different,
Mm,
definitely. But
mm.
if that is what um you know you want to do, and you are young, you are in school, or you're still fresh out of school, then
Yeah.
definitely pursue it, because it you can make it work if that's what you know you want to do. So
All
it's
right.
not an impossible. It's not an impossible. Like when I was young, it felt like an impossible thing, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's why it took me so long to get to it. But
All right.
it's definitely not for our youth, I don't think.
Okay. All right. That's wonderful. Just for the viewers, they might think because you are saying when you grew up, they might say,
Mm.
"Oh, you're still growing because you are looking as if you are 16 years old." We just want to clarify. Let us first clarify that one. Because earlier I was just asking, hey, I hope you are older than 16. Just clarify that you're older than 16, please.
I am older than 16, definitely.
All right. Yeah, we came to the last question. It was nice talking to you, and it was nice
Thank you,
having you
Joey.
here. And just want to thank you out of the bottom of my heart for making time.
Mm.
I was aiming for 30 minutes, but because I love poetry, yeah,
Uh,
and I love to write poems myself, I would love to talk to you the whole day. But unfortunately, weren't able to do that. So the last
yeah.
one to you, the last but not least, yes, it's the last one. Just a word of encouragement. A word of encouragement. Listen, we remember we are recording this, and later on, some viewers might just look at it, and especially the younger ones, and then they come to this part, right? And this part is for me is vital to encourage the young ones. Uh, so, is there any a word of encouragement from your side?
Yes, Jimmy, definitely. I I think what I would really just want to thank you, Angeline. Um, I want to share to share
Yeah.
with our younger viewers, especially also because I believe that they are the ones that really need to be encouraged at this point. But also our older viewers, you know, I think something that I learned early on, very early on, because you know you grow up and you have this idea of how your life should go,
Hmm.
and then life happens and
Hmm.
things don't go that way.
Yeah.
And so it's important to remember that your life is a journey.
Yes.
Your life is your journey,
Hmm.
and it's it's so important to not compare yourself.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I would want to say to
Hmm.
our young people out there, especially today where there's so much going on with social media and comparisons between people being made and people, you know, there's so much going on. So know, find out who you are. You know,
Yep.
enjoy your life journey.
Hmm.
Everyone's life is not the same. Everyone's life
Yep.
is not meant to be the same.
Yes.
And also, it's okay if things don't work out.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
okay if things don't go how you planned it,
Blend.
because
Yes.
at the end of the day, there is our Father in heaven that knows what He planned for us.
Oh, yes.
And
Wonderful.
sometimes His plans are bigger than our plans could ever be.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so I, yeah, that's my like I think what I've learned the most.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, and that's what I want to share.
All
Do not
right.
give up on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not think that you are not worthy of the things that you dream of, and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy your journey. Learn from it, because things are going to change. Your focus is going to change at some point of your life. So
Yes.
just enjoy getting to know
Mm-hmm.
all that those parts of you and
Yeah.
discovering who you are.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah.
wonderful. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, Moesieras. That it's nice to know. It's nice to know that uh, because that happened to you. You needed to encourage yourself. You needed to
Yes.
keep yourself on par. You needed to gauge yourself to see where you within the industry and stuff. So thank you very much for that words of encouragement. I'm not going to keep you longer any longer. I know you guys are going to try and have a nice a fun time. Uh, yes, from my side, I want to thank you. Thank you for making time to be interviewed. It's a privilege for me to interview you today on this nice Heritage Day. So
Yes.
after this, I'm going to also have a braai here at this place. Yes, I
That's
would like to
nice.
show you the place. I would like to show you the place before we going to finally just show you the place. Eh? It's a farm. It's Solom's Delta. The people are praying there, making fire.
Oh, I can see the
Uh,
smoke. Yeah.
yeah, you can see the smoke. Yeah, people are sitting out there. They're having a nice time. Yeah, it's nice. It's the mood is nice and the day is nice. So
Nice
thank you
view.
very much. Yes, I can just imagine that in the West Coast it's also nice and the weather is nice on that side. Thank you very much for making time. You must have a pleasant and blessed Heritage Day, you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
All right.
Jimmy. I really appreciate
Okay.
the I really appreciate your platform, and being able to speak to you and share a bit of myself with you. So yeah, and thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Yeah,
All right.
it was really awesome. It
Okay.
was
Thank
really
you very much.
enjoy
All
the
right.
rest of your day.
I will. Thank you very much. And okay. Bye.
Bye.